Physical strength equals overall strength.
I mean, physical strength is good. Everyone should strive to be as physically strong as they are. This is one that I let myself down on a daily basis these days. I'm spending so much time trying to gain stability, like financially, for my family and make the next steps in that regard. I will tell you that you feel better as a man when you're physically strong, and like when you're taking care of yourself, like you never feel as good as you do when you're in shape and hardened, I guess.
So, I mean, unobjectively, it is going to improve your performance in most things that you do, because we now know that if you're physically in shape, then your mental capacity raises with it. I mean, naturally.
Oh, dude, when I was really hitting it, I used to read books on the treadmill and shit.
Yeah, it works. I still fail at this. When I was young, I got in a really good shape, and I mean, not really good shape. I was never very strong, but I could throw a baseball very well. My hand-eye coordination was really good. I was pretty dang athletic. I was fast.
Well, we started this conversation talking about how I was winning track meets, and there was nobody within a county faster than me. So you guys can do the math that you want to do. I'm certainly not living up to my end of this right now.
But here's the thing. Even me, I'm probably 175 pounds. I'm 6 foot tall, and I will go a couple of weeks sometimes without doing lifting weights or running or anything. I'll play golf, but I won't, go to the gym and get a good workout in. During those 2 weeks, I recoil for sure. It's a no doubt, because here's how I know. Because the days where I get back at working out, the 2 or 3 times that I do it, the next 2 or 3 days, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what it feels like to be powerful. This is what it feels like to operate at, a high
maximum
capacity.
Efficiency.
Yes. So yeah, I'm a believer in this for sure.
But the one thing I will caution anyone on, don't over-index on any one thing. Yes, it's important, but much like we talked about, like, don't push you think you have to be the strongest man in the world for it to be meaningful. No, you have to be the strongest you can be. That's all. That's it.
People treat you how you treat yourself.
Have a spine. Okay. What I will say is, if you don't respect yourself, no one else will respect you, period. I think that is 100% the case.
Well, as a person that told myself a victim story for a while, I know that when I would tell that story to other people, they would corroborate that message, and it made me worse. So I'm not sure that, and maybe that's out of ignorance, but maybe that's not always true. I think that, I don't know. I think that people treat other people in a way that is conducive to their own perspective.
Well, you can see he does kind of go on to like explain certain things. There are certain things in which no one is going to take me seriously on. I spent a lot of time with personal fitness and know a lot about it, know a lot about diet and exercise. Despite how much time I've spent studying it, no one is going to listen to me talk about diet and exercise just because of the way I'm going to look. Like, it's period. So like, I know that if you can get one over on someone and it's super easy to do because they just don't stand up for themselves, people will take advantage of that. Maybe not everybody, but enough on average that it's going to become a thing. So like, you have to stand up for yourself. I guess it's more a matter of, if you don't stand up for yourself, you certainly can't expect anyone else to. Like, people might, but you can be certain that if you don't, there's nobody that has to.
Fix the light bulb. Let me go ahead and read the anecdotes as well. And take out the trash and unclog the toilet and replace your air filters. If little things around the house need to be done, do them. That's your job. Nobody's going to do it for you. Take ownership of your surroundings. That's what a man does. Yes, not only is it good for, the family and your general surroundings, but it's also good for yourself too, because it's that line of the first thing that you should do in the morning is make your bed, because you've already accomplished something. It gets your brain chemistry going correctly, all that stuff. But it also, if you go to work, go out and, have to come back home, you don't want to come back home to a mess. Coming back home to a clean place is so much more satisfying than coming home to a wreck, one where, the fire detector battery's out and it's beeping all the time. It's so much better to come home to a nice, clean, that same lesson that Jordan Peterson has about, get your house in order.
Having nice things makes us all feel better. And if you don't take care of those nice things, and while I will actually take this one step further than they're doing, this guy is talking about this in a very physical way. I will actually say this is like, you need to be radically communicative with the people in your life, because if you let little things, say if it's light bulb, or say it's a fight that you had with your wife that you don't address why it happened, those little things can become very, very big things down the road. Like, sure, it starts as a light bulb, and the next, you stop visiting a room in your house just because I don't want to deal with the problems that are in that room. I don't want to go to the basement because if I go down there, I got to deal with the drip, and then the drip's going to... In your relationships, if you don't deal with like the little hiccups, eventually it's like 6 months down the road and, oh, I didn't realize you felt this way. And like, we're talking about, getting a divorce because we didn't address this one little thing. And then another little thing piled on top of it. And things that are very small things that really shouldn't affect anything can become a matter of, well, I just don't feel like I know you anymore. You don't take care of any of this stuff. Well, take care of things and they won't build up, and knowing is always better than not knowing.
Everything is earned. You're owed nothing and the world will treat you as such. Yeah. I mean,
okay. So I don't like the way he worded this, and this is strictly from a language perspective. Everything is earned. Okay. Well, the world isn't fair, so that's bullshit. I guess to say everything is earned, like all the negative stuff that happens in your life would be earned too. Only the good things in your life are the things that you want. You have to earn them. I would say it's make a better way of putting it, because lots of shit that's negative will probably happen to you in life that you have no reason for it to happen whatsoever. Just somebody else screwed something up, but nothing good generally is going to happen to you.
I think this is one of those that it's a good way to think, another good lens to have, I think, is what this is. Self-respect is supreme.
This is kind of doubling back on the same thing you said earlier. It's kind of like a repeat.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a repeat here.
Don't respect yourself, no one else will.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I believe there's people out there that look down upon themselves very, very, very much, but yet they bring this massive value to the world. Like, let's take one of these guys that committed suicide. That's a famous person. Lincoln Park guy, Chester.
If you think that was suicide.
Oh, man. I didn't know we were going there.
Oh, we don't have to go there. We'll talk about that in another episode, but
I don't know the story, I guess. What about, Robin Williams? So can you respect yourself and commit suicide?
Well, and this is my point. I think that if you don't have self-respect, that's a danger you run. Like, doesn't matter how good, how much value you bring to the rest of the world. If you're not living and being in such a way that you can learn to love and appreciate yourself, that is how it ends. You end up killing yourself. The idea behind this, like, if you can't be good enough for you, doesn't matter how good enough you are for everybody else.
Maybe I just don't have a good image of self-respect in my mind. Let's go to this anecdote though. Discipline, integrity, work ethic, your values, they're all made possible through self-respect. So I'm guessing, I believe what he's saying is, if you have discipline, if you have integrity, if you have work ethic, it's because you have self-respect. I guess. Is it because you want to have a good character? Is that why? I don't know.
I read it a little different. Everyone has their values and like what they think a good person is. And if you're not living up to your values and what you believe a good person is, and the thing of this is like some people's values can get out of whack where like what they think a good person is isn't even possible. Like they can never live up to what they believe a good person is. That's like the whole Lewy body dementia that Robin Williams had. Like his reality, he was never capable of seeing reality because his body couldn't interpret the world around him properly. And so, you know, the idea is when you have your values, if you feel yourself failing at living up to your values, your house of cards ready to crumble.
Yeah, I get it. You learned me something today, Nicky. Dadgum. Heck yeah.